digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Hi guys and welcome to THFC Till We Die, and this is, well, I don't know where my co-host is. He was supposed to be here at 8 o'clock with his tactics board and everything, but I think he got caught up in the celebrations with Tottenham yesterday. So if you have seen James, if he's wandering around North London with James Maddison and Christian and Romero and Brennan Johnson, would you mind sending him back in my direction? I know he's celebrating a win, but come on, man. Come on. Do you know? Where are you? We've been putting out the bat signal for you soon, the THFC Till We Die signal. But yeah, if you see James wandering around with Spurs players, could you let me know and tell him to send him back my way? Guys, but how are you? What did you think of that? What did you think of that parade yesterday? And that parade, it was something else, wasn't it? It really was electric. And we've got a lot to go over to that. A few questions I'm going to ask you, a few points. Season 3 is better than season 2. What do we think of that? With Ange's press conference today, then he sort of changes about a little bit and says, do you know, always the main character always gets killed off. So is there a bit of mind games going on here? Who knows? We're going to go over the permutations for tomorrow where Spurs can finish in the league with a win over Brighton. If we've got any fit sober players, I mean, if they breathalyze them, they may fail to get done for being for playing with they may get done for drink driving with a ball. If you have any actually sober players left. And just really your thoughts on the season as a whole. I know it's supposed to be a tactics show, but as I said, I can't find James anywhere. Can't get hold of him. So I'm making this up as I go along. I am totally useless about tactics. If you want to talk to me about tactics, fine. How do we set up? Aussie or D-list style, 2 defenders, 1 defender, 1 midfielder, and everyone else playing up front. That's it. I don't know tactics. James is our tactics guy. But let's welcome a few people in and see who's in. And big up the Wayne Bonner. He goes, good. That's not good, though. I know, but never mind. Good evening, fellow champions of Europe. Yes, I like the sound of that. Hope you're all well and enjoying the weekend. I watched something on YouTube today, Wayne. I don't know. I had put it into the group chat. And it was Ange Postecoglou with the song My Way at the back of it. It did bring a tear to me eye. I must admit, I thought I'd stop crying because after we win in it, but we've done it again. It just starts again, doesn't it? You just see that final, lifting that club, and I swear to God, the floodgates just still open. Big up to Wayne. He says, haha, has anyone seen James? I still think he's partying with James Madison and Cutie Romero. That's what I think he is. I'm trying to see if he has. I'm actually going to test his cousin. Oh dear. I've actually texted Colin, have you seen your cousin? Has anyone seen James? Send out a search party for him. Send him out. Where are you? Get in here. Big up to Kersey, big up Flacker. It's any transfer. I'm waiting for a massive update actually from my source. So probably Tuesday or Wednesday, you may get a massive transfer show. So yeah, as soon as we get it, we'll give it to you straight away. Pardon me. I am making this up as I go along, by the way, because we did have a show all prepared for tactics, and because that's sort of gone by the wayside, I'm actually struggling things to say. I could do with a co-host. Anyway, big up to you. Big up as well. What am I talking about? Oh, yeah, league. That's it. That's what I want to talk about. So I want to share something here. Let me go here. These are the best. These actually are the best shows when you have to go off the seat of your pants and just do something. Right. So I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. If you are watching on big TV, you can see it. If you watch on your phone, I do apologize. But look, Spurs are 17th at the moment, 11 wins, 5 draws, 21 defeats, 63 goals scored, 61 defense, a goal difference of +2, 38 points. Right, no wins in the last 5, only 4 defeats and 1 draw. We are playing Brighton. So win for Spurs tomorrow. If Man United lose, if West Ham actually lose, and I think Wolves lose, we could end up 14th. We could end up being 15th, to be fair, which should be a lot better than ended up being 17th. Bournemouth, on the other hand, well, they've got a lot to play for. They're in a fight for European football. I mean, tomorrow's going to be really interesting between Forest, Villa, Chelsea, and Newcastle. Arsenal have secured 2nd place. I think Man City have secured 3rd place, in my opinion. But you look at Newcastle 4th, Chelsea 5th, Villa 6th, Forest 7th. Only a point between them. And do you know what? I really hope Forest get Champions League football. I really do. I think they deserve it. I really do. I think they've had a great season. Look, only 10 defeats all season. They've played absolutely some great football. And they've been up there all season. They really have. So they deserve it. Villa, for me, I think the top 4 will be, maybe you guys in the chat will let me know. And maybe over and next guys where you're watching as well. Let me know what you guys think. I think it will be Newcastle, Villa, and Forest. I don't think Chelsea's going to get Champions League football. I really don't think so. I think Man City may finish 4th tomorrow. Just my opinion. But look, it's going to be a really, really interesting end of the season. Let's go to the fixtures tomorrow as well, if we can. Will it let me do? Do you know, this thing is so, I don't know. It's big up to Erwin. Hi, DERMO and chat. Hope you're good. Well, just let you know, I've done the bet with my father. Ran naked through the village with just a scarf on me. LOL. Didn't get arrested. Wow. Oh, I bet you that was fun. You should have videoed it for the channel. I mean, that would have been great content for the channel, actually, that, Erwin. You should have done that. You should have videoed for the channel. But big up, hope you and the missus and the wife are doing well. The fixtures tomorrow, and let's go through them, guys. Let's go through them. So I'll bring them up here now. Let me just do that. Yeah, the fixtures tomorrow got Fulham against Man City, Ipswich against West Ham. Well, look, let's start with the top two. I don't know what you guys think. I think they are. Well, send me the video. Well, send me it and I'll stick it up in the channel. Do you know what? Liverpool against Palace, because Liverpool get to lift the championship tomorrow at home. Man United against Villa. That is going to be a really interesting game with Man United tomorrow after them losing the Europa League final. Their fans up in arms with our owners. That's going to be interesting tomorrow from Old Trafford. Forest are at home to Chelsea. Winner takes all. Of course, Southampton are home to Arsenal. Of course, we, of course, are home to Brighton. It's parading again the Europa League round this grand. That's going to be an amazing atmosphere. And Wolves are home to Brentford. So that is your thing. Right. Let's go through some of these games. Let's go through the stats as well. We have played Brighton 15 times. We've drawn 1 with Tottenham with 9 wins, 6 at home, 3 away. Brighton total 5 wins, 4 at home and 1 away. Recent meetings, of course, was the 3-2 win earlier this season, and when we're 2-0 up, by the way, and we lost 3-2. Of course, then the 10th of February 2024 2-1. That was the game I was at when I think Mickey Van de Ven got the winner there. We lost 4-2 early in that season, by the way, to Fulham, to Brighton. We beat them 2-1. And then, of course, we won 1-0. So we haven't got a bad record against Brighton, really. If you look, we've got 3 wins and 2 defeats in our last 5. Form guide, well, it really is in the Premier League. It's nothing but atrocious. 4 defeats and 1 draw. That draw coming against West Ham. 2 heavy defeats as well. And if you look, we haven't scored a Premier League goal since West Ham. We lost 2-0 to the game I went to against Palace, and then Villa 2-0 as well. You look on Brighton, only 1 defeat in the last 5. They beat Liverpool 3-2 at home. They beat Wolves 2-0 away. 1-1 with Newcastle, 3-2 win against West Ham, but they did lose 4-2 in the last trip to London away from home, and that was against Brentford. Season so far, 17th place for Spurs, 8th for Brighton, only 11 wins this season, 15 for Brighton, 5 drawn, 13 for Brighton, 21 defeats for Spurs, and 9 for Brighton at all. Biggest win, of course, for us was the 5-0 away win to Southampton. The only team I think we've done the double over this season. And then 5-1 versus Liverpool. That was away at Anfield. Of course, 4-0. Biggest win for Southampton was for Brighton, but a 7-0 defeat against Nottingham Forest. And then the top goalless threats, of course, look, Brennan Johnson with 11 goals. He's the club top goal scorer. And then you got top assists, Sonny with 9, and then Carlos Balabeba with 76 tackles, but your dog is on 74. So there you go, guys. That's all your bits of news and stats and that. I still don't know where my man is. This might be a short show, guys, because I really have no wonder what to say, what to talk about. Let's see. Let's go into the news section. See, can I pick something out of there? But what's your thoughts on the season been, guys? Let me know. What have you thought of the season? Is there any questions you want to ask me about the season? Look, it hasn't been the greatest of seasons. Let's be fair. It hasn't been great. It's been quite abysmal. Look, the only thing to keep us going was, of course, the League Cup. We got to semi-finals of the League Cup. Of course, we won the Europa League, but we went out the FA Cup very early. Do you think Andrew was right to sacrifice the league for the Europa League? And he'd done that very early. He'd done that in January. And he said that in an interview that he already prioritized the Europa League. And coming with the summer, does this mean we need a better transfer window? And we do, to buy more quality players. Now, there's players like Gomez that are on a free. Jonathan David's on the free. You got the situation around Christian Romero. Is he going to Atletico Madrid? You got things like that. So, and I mean, it was read yesterday. I read somewhere yesterday that Tottenham's three most um uh hang on, just give me 2 minutes. Give us two. Sorry about this. um do you know where do you want this? I mean, it's up to you guys. This is your chance to ask me a question. This is actually Ask Dermatron about Spurs this season. I suppose you could say this stream's turned into. So let me know what you guys think. Well, ask me what you want. It is what do you want from the summer? Wayne Bonner said, "What was Ange's speech like? Not seen it yet, but caught the Thursday. It was really passionate. Now, if I could show it to you, I would, but I would get copyrighted to hell. Already did the other night by accidentally showing Sonny lifting the clock off YouTube, and I did get copyrighted to hell. I actually got the show got blocked until I had to trim that out. As you can see, I've got my new Tottenham mug, which I absolutely love. I love that mug. Got that one's in white highlight. It was passionate. It got the juices flowing. It was more like he was praising people like Sonny, Cutie Romero, James Madison. He was saying about his staff, and also to the fans that they did it for them. They did it for them. And it was like I think he was slightly had a few drinks, so I think it came out with him. But it really was convinced. And look, to for so long for people to laugh at him and to say, look, he wasn't boasting, he was stating a fact. He does win things in his second season. It was a fact. And I think a lot of people thought he was being big-headed. He wasn't. He was stating the fact that he wins things in his third season. And I think he wanted to leave the fans with something. He's done the same up in Celtic. He leaves the fans with something to hold on to. And the line of season 3 is always better than season 2, I think was a great line. And I think it was an absolute belter because it just felt right with the atmosphere of the stadium. It felt right with the atmosphere of what we were seeing yesterday and the parade. And it shows, look, and this all bullshit as well, Tottenham not being a big club. We are a big club. We proved it yesterday. We're a big club. We proved yesterday that Tottenham Hotspur is a massive club, and we are a big club, and we are one of the big 6. So I don't give a shit what anyone says. We are a massive club. And look, I give my sympathetic to Colin and Kevin for Man United and they're losing the final. You know, they've done well to get there. They didn't turn up on the day. I don't think it was a great final, to be fair. It wasn't the best final in the world, but we were just we got the rub of the green. I don't think the referee was great either. And I think both teams can admit that. Both sets of fans can admit the referee was absolutely atrocious. But we turned up and we did it. We won it. And we got ourselves in the Champions League, which financially helps us out absolutely massively. And you can see what it meant to the players yesterday. You can see what it meant to Ange. You can see what it meant to everyone connected with the club. And it was something special. It was something important that we had to do. We had to get that monkey off our back. It was all about winning. It was all about proving to people we can get over the line. It was all about, okay, we've had a really shit season. we've had the worst season ever. But injuries play a part in that. Injuries play a part in that. I think our transfer windows came back and bit us on the arse. The summer and January transfer windows come up and bite us on the arse. They did come and bite us on the arse because we didn't prepare enough. We didn't prepare a better squad for the season ahead. Ange's had to do, and I will admit myself, I was wrong. I never lost hope, but I lost faith in Ange and his ability to take us over that line and do it. And all that's said and done, the Premier League is your bread and butter. The Premier League is where you earn your stripes. That's where you get your dinner. All the cups that you're in, they're all your desserts. But your starter and main course is the Premier League. And that's got to be improved massively. We've got to get off to a flyer next season, starting next season. And I think the work for that starts now. The work for that starts after the final whistle tomorrow. The work for that starts now. Paratici and Gabardini have to get the work. The club have to come out and say, right, this is what we're doing. This is coming in. This is going out. This is who we are. And if Ange does leave, right, and Ange do say there's a statement, Ange Postecoglou is left with mutual consent. Well, he's left as a legend anyway because he's the only third man in our history to win a European trophy. The only two men before that was Bill Nicholson and Keith Birkinshaw. Ange Postecoglou's wrote himself into history. He's also wrote himself into history of being the first manager since Ramos to win us a trophy. Conte couldn't do it. Mourinho, we don't know because Mourinho was sacked 6 days before final. We don't know that. Pochettino had ample opportunities to win us a trophy. So, do you know, it's been one hell of a long season. And you guys have been there with it, me, all the way through it. The good, the bad, see me getting upset, celebrate, happy, cry, which I did do on Wednesday. I cried. And you've been there, and I couldn't do it without you guys. And I'll be honest with you, I am fucking knackered. I am physically drained. I am going away on holiday for a week from June to 6th to 13th. You won't see me, and I'm so look forward to my holiday. But I tell you one damn good thing about it. When I get back, I'm heading straight back to work, and this channel is going to grow bigger and better before the start of next season. And we are going to get the 3K before this time next year. And I'm telling you that. Sorry. But yeah, I'm just still trying to chase down my so-called yeah, I am going to send out an SOS. Where is it now? I'm going to send out an SOS. This is an SOS. I've just sent out an SOS. But yeah, look, it's about moving on now. It's about building on this success we have found ourselves. And it is about moving on. But let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Please, Erwin, just send me them videos, please. I will put them up on the channel. I'll put them up on TikTok. How's that? I won't put them up on the YouTube channel, but I will put them up on TikTok. Please send them to me. Please, please send them to me. Big up to Jesus Christ. That didn't take you fucking long.
You got me at a good time, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Look at you sitting there with your look at you. You remind me of Ramsey Nesbitt. How you're sitting there.
Can you come up with a better comparison than that, please? Or I might just switch off.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
he's
uh,
Ramsey Nesbitt. Holy God. Oh,
yeah.
anyway.
Hang on.
Ah, yeah, I'm just lying back here. I'm going through YouTube, see if I did I miss any of the fanzines, you know.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Sorry, Philip. I have to. What's your thoughts for tomorrow?
Oh God. It's just as well we have nothing riding on it. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brighton have, you see, that worries me a little bit. Brighton have a chance of getting Europe after
Yeah.
beating Liverpool the other night. So they're no dozers. Although our players could come out tomorrow, last game of the season, no worries, doesn't no cup final to worry about getting injured for. And it could surprise us. Could be a very free flowing game tomorrow. Shackles are off, you know.
Yeah.
But then again, we
Look,
might lose 4-0.
might do have to breathalyze them.
Yeah,
Big
okay.
up to yeah. What was Angie's big up Tony? We both know what I want. Yeah, I know that, and what we both know what is in the pipeline. With regards to summer centre CDM left back or wherever else we need, no more youngsters. Time to go in. Or I think we need ready-made players, don't we?
We have
Now,
enough youngsters coming through the system, I think, at this stage. You know,
yeah,
we have the likes of Bergval, who probably is further on in his development than he'd hoped to be, because well, not than thought he'd be, because of he was pressed into action a lot more than we thought. Archie Gray is the same. So we've got Mikey Moore. We've got the young lads there, and Wayne's quite right. We need the experience now to come in and gel the whole thing together.
yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying. Also, what do you expect from Paratici transfer window more than a Lang one? Because that's going to be interesting, isn't it?
I hope he hasn't lost his little black book. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
You know, I'd say the fact that he's back in charge of the transfers really will be a big bonus to us this summer. And don't forget, there are players who looked at that game on Wednesday night and thought, if Spurs had lost that game, there's no way I'm going there. Now they've got Champions League football, and that can swing players' minds and agents' minds. So Spurs are an awful lot more attractive proposition than they would have been if they'd lost that game the other night. So, you know.
yeah. Look, it's going to be interesting tomorrow anyway. Big up to Boris. Good luck, Keeley and Donnelly tomorrow for the playoffs and Leyton Orient. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
going to be a cracking game.
And well done to
Uh,
Alfie Dorrington for getting
yeah,
a cup winners medal in Scotland today with Aberdeen. Fair dues to him.
yeah, yeah. See Sunderland.
Oh, I did. I watched it.
Yeah,
The Sheffield United should have been out of sight. Really should have
yeah,
been out of sight. There's a goal disallowed now that was very, very controversial, I think, and got caught in the second half. But
yeah,
yeah, good. It's great. Although Sunderland are a team that should be in the Premiership. They're
yeah,
fantastic fans and really are. It's great to have them back.
yeah. Tony says, I have heard this actually. One transfer deal being looked at is that Luka Modric for a 1-year deal. I'll
Yeah,
take
funny.
him.
I'd read somewhere about that Modric was coming back, but then I thought maybe he's coming back as a coaching role, you know, or a mentor role. I'll tell you one thing: he will be some addition to the club for 1 year.
He will.
I know he's 38 years of age, but that guy's got the brain and the legs of a 20. He's got the brain of a 38-year-old and the legs of a 25-year-old.
Yeah, it would. I tell you one thing, I would take that all day long. He'd be a great addition to that midfield, to be fair.
Oh, can you imagine him giving Bergval, you know, telling him how to run a match? And oh my God, be fantastic. If only for his experience to be there and passing on what he knows. Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, what did you see Ange's press conference, Philip? It was very much laughs and jokes with the media and all this. But what do you think Levy's gonna do? You've seen enough of Tottenham over the years. What do you think Levy will do?
I think Levy's, if he sacks Ange now, he'll lose a lot of face. I think Ange has backed him into a corner in so much he deserves more time after that now. You know, I know Keith Burke. See, it's difference in Keith Burkett. We knew Keith Burkett was leaving before the game in '84. We knew that was going to happen. that we don't know what's happening this time. So I think I heard some very smart comments on some of the videos about after the parade yesterday, and they were saying
Yeah,
give them till Christmas, give them till Christmas, and if things don't work out, then change it.
yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that'll be the
I
way to go.
yeah. I look. I think it might be a mutual consent if they want to bring in. Paratici wants to bring in his own man, and
Maybe, maybe.
um, and I just think that might be the case. If he does stay, then he'll have to Christmas to sort himself out. And look, we can't ignore the league form. We cannot ignore it. It's disaster. The league form's disastrous. We've lost as many games this season as we did the year we went down in 77, and you remember that as well as anybody.
Yeah.
So if you put the league, the cups to one side, league form alone, he doesn't deserve to stay in the job. If
Yeah.
say we got, do you know, so you got to look at it logically, haven't you? You got to look at it. Do you have to take emotion out of it, looking at how he's done this season, and
I think
take do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you have to make allowances though. Like we weren't able to play our regular back four for almost 6 months.
Mhm.
You know, you've got to give them allowances for the injuries that we had. Okay, it's not a complete exoneration, but I would say we should be 15 to 20 points better off than we are. Okay,
Yeah,
which was still only put us mid-table, right? But I think you got to allow for the injuries. There's no excuse for some of the matches. I mean, how the hell we lost at home to Leicester? I mean that
yeah,
was a disgrace. There's other games we should have won that we lost badly. I don't think it's going to happen again. To be honest with you, I think he has changed his tactics a little bit. Look at the way he changed the tactics for the final of the Europa Cup. There,
yeah,
we didn't go gung ho. We played a very sensible, very very conservative
mm,
bringing on the back five for the last 20 minutes. That would never happen in a league match.
yeah.
So yeah, I think he's learning. I think he's learning. It
Mm.
takes time, but whether it goes, and I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he left, but it also wouldn't surprise me if he stayed.
But I said during like a little rant I had with myself that the transfer window did come back and bite him in the ass because it didn't do
Yeah,
any business. So if you're looking at that, people don't want Ange out, Philip, right? They do have evidence on their side. The league form has dropped. Even if you do, prioritize one thing over another, the league is still your bread and butter. You know that as well as I do. We've watched enough Tottenham's over the years. I don't know how many years. I'm 40. I mean, next season will be my 45th year of following Tottenham Hotspur.
mm,
So,
yeah,
and there's you as well. I mean, you're 60 odd years supporting Tottenham. So, look, you're looking at nearly 100 years between us of
hmm.
watching this club.
You think we'd have
So,
sense by now, wouldn't
yeah, we don't. You,
you?
me, never will have sense. You know that as well as I do. We're
Mm.
both as daft as a brush. But was he right to prioritize one over the other? Or do you think he still should have, with the league? Look, the league is important. Finish as high as we can in the league as well. Do you think Keith Birkinshaw or Bill Nick would have prioritized? And do you think that's the wrong message to
Well,
send
listen,
out to? Yeah,
the end justifies the means. We've got a trophy, right? So
yeah,
you've got to say he was right in prioritizing the Europa League. Okay, if we'd lost on Wednesday night, I have no doubt the knives would be out for him now, and it'd
yeah,
be also, why did you do this? Why did why did you do this? Why did you do that? So I think he took a huge gamble, and it paid off. You know,
hmm,
but you're right though. We cannot go through another league season like that. It's just not good
yeah.
enough.
And do you know what? And it's like Tequila. I think Tequila's right. Look, me and Tequila have different views on this, but I think he's right. If you look back at it logically, you've got to look at this logically. Take emotion out of the situation, right? And you look at 21 league defeats. Would any other manager survive that, Philip? Would
Probably not.
any other man? No. So Ange has won us the European trophy. He's
Mhm.
a legend. The third man ever to do that in our history. Bill Nick,
Yeah.
Keith Birkinshaw, Ange Postecoglou. Do you think if Paratici, who never wanted Ange now in the first place, comes in and says, I want this manager replaced, is an Ange in a better place to ask for a bigger compensation now? He can say, right, I've got 2 years on my contract, but I want Europa League. If you give me a set amount, I will leave by mutual consent. And then we bring in, I mean, there's likes of Inzaghi, there's likes of Thomas Frank, there's likes of different managers being linked to the job.
Yeah, it's a very tricky one. I mean, Paratici coming in, if he doesn't like Ange, right, how much has that dislike been tempered now by the fact, hang on, this guy's won us a trophy? It's got to have a bearing on the fact, are we better off letting things stay the way they are for a while? I said, I'll go back to it and say, like, I've no doubt if we were sitting here after watching Man United win on Thursday, Ange would probably be 6 o'clock tomorrow, he'd be sacked. There's no doubt about that.
But
right?
Are we in danger of? It's a proper question, Philip. This is a proper question. Like, are we in danger? And I know Tequila's put it in here, and I've sort of been, I've said this before, been harping on about this. Have we walked ourselves into a Ten Hag situation where you look at Ten Hag, his league season at Man United was woeful. Won an FA Cup. Not what's the name of Jim Ratcliffe's company?
Oh, I can't remember his name, but no, Quaresma.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
They offered him a new deal, and then they sack him. Then,
yeah.
Do you think we walked ourselves into a Ten Hag? I think we've walked ourselves into that now.
You know, I think all Ange has done here, right? He could be prolonging the situation. Like my suggestion earlier was that we give him till Christmas, and then if we're not doing well at Christmas, sack him. Now, United's case in point, when they sacked Ten Hag, they had 30 points. Amorim has only won 9 points for them. You know? So is the grass greener when you bring in a new manager? Who knows? It might not be.
It's Ineos. That's it. Cheers.
Ineos,
Tequila calls it idiots, though.
I see in the thing today, he's talking about sacking another 200 staff members from Old Trafford.
See, this is the problem. Look, I feel sorry for Man United. I really genuinely do. I do feel sorry for them. I think there's a big march there tomorrow.
Is that? Right, okay.
Yeah. But and Boris says, I know what Boris says, Stephen's Ten Hag lost the dressing room. Yeah, I know Ange hasn't. Big up to Iceman as well. He says, DERMO, FA Cup is completely different from European League champions. I know that. But the question has to be asked, have we walked ourselves into a Ten Hag? If half the board want... Well, we know Daniel Levy... No, look, with the takeover as well, Philip, does this leave Daniel Levy in a stronger position if he wanted to sell the club as well? If he wanted to...
I'd say it's put an extra 200 million on the price tag. That's all, because look at the money we're going to earn next season. You know, so I mean, it's Daniel Levy is a hard-nosed businessman. If he feels the time is right to change the manager, he will do it. Now, whether his views are tempered by the fact that maybe there'll be new owners in the place, and he might say, "Why should I get the stick for doing this? I'll let the new boys come in and they can sack him." You know. But I think it's a different situation from Ten Hag. You know, I think managing Manchester United, to be honest, is a much tougher proposition than managing Tottenham, because the expectations there are based on what they've done over the last 20, 30 years. Lots of trophies, lots of championships. Alex Ferguson, the day he left was the day United went into free fall, and they're still in it.
Yeah,
we're slightly different.
Yeah. I mean, new Iceman puts new manager needs a new rebuild. Stick with Ange, he says. Chill Muse says the grass sometimes never greener on the other side if you sack Ange.
Yeah, well, that's true.
That's so true.
But look, we're not too far away. Look at the players we've brought in, right?
Yeah,
I'll go back to Bergvall again. We don't need that much. I'd say we need maybe another creative midfielder. A kind of a Roy Keane in the centre of the field, and another striker. I think our squad is decent enough if they're all fit.
And then with Luka Modric coming into that midfield, if he does sign a 1-year deal,
I'd buy his plane ticket myself to get him over. That's how much I think Modric should come.
I mean, look, I think Tequila, look, there's some really good points coming in. Iceman's made another very good point, by the way. It says, Tequila says, if we're happy to be a cup team, then by all means keep Ange. If that's enough for you, then so be it. But isn't the goal, Philip, to be league champions? Isn't that the all goal at the end of the day, is to win the Premier League?
Yeah, but
And
Tottenham have always been known as a cup team. Like we've won the league, was it twice in our existence?
three
And
times in our
three
history.
times, sorry. And the last
No, hang
time
on.
was no
Hang on.
twice. No,
No,
three times.
50,
Yeah, 51,
49, 50.
61. Yeah, 50 and 61 and no, that's it.
No,
That's
hang
it.
on.
Twice.
No, 49, 50, the second division.
Oh yeah,
50,
I'm talking
51,
about
first
the first
division.
division. I'm talking
Oh,
about
the first
the
division
first
twice.
division.
Yeah,
Won it twice.
twice. Yeah.
Like we've been known as a cup team. I mean, when we won the FA Cup in 1991, that was for a record eighth time. Now some
Yeah.
clubs have got 13 and 14.
Yeah.
So we are known as a cup team. If we do get a manager that comes in and that turns us into a league-winning team, I don't see it happening. I think we can
Yeah.
go on and win a few more cups. We're a long way away from being like Liverpool and winning leagues, I'm afraid.
But isn't fans that like the kid, are they right that you should aim high?
Oh yeah,
The aim should be the league.
Look, we've
And
got the best stadium in the country, right?
yeah,
But what we had this season, I've used this analogy before. We've got a Rolls Royce driven by a Skoda engine.
yeah,
We need to have a Rolls Royce engine, then we might start going somewhere.
yeah. So does that mean then we need a manager that has, if Ange is like a cup expert, right, and win cups, and he won the Europa League, right? Do we need a manager that knows how to win leagues? If this squad is as good as we think it is, Philip, right, and we've got a really good squad, some of these youngsters are gonna come into their own in the next few years. We've got the youngsters from the under-21s. You sprinkle that with a few experienced players like Modric, like other players like that can really take this team to the next level. You replace Richarlison with Jonathan David. You probably get a chance to buy Harry Kane back for a couple of seasons. If you say you got Harry Kane this summer, Modric, and a good centre back, do you think that's a team that could win the league?
It could, if a number of factors fall into consideration. I mean, look at Leicester when they won it. They came 14th or 15th the season before, very similar to what we did. Everything went for them the following season. They had no injuries. Other teams were bending over backwards to let them win, so we wouldn't win it. So yeah, it can happen. But okay, bringing in a manager. My choice for Tottenham manager, if it was changed in the morning, and this might be controversial, is Jurgen Klopp, because he's shown what he can do.
Yeah.
He's shown what he can do. You bring in somebody from Europe with no Premiership experience, it's going to take them at least a season to bed in, and God knows what's going to happen there. You bring in someone like Klopp, hits the ground running, God knows what that squad could do with a few tweaks.
I mean, Johnny puts in big head. Johnny says Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank has done a great job at a small club. Yeah. Can he make the transition up to a big club? We are a big club. Let's face it. We are a big club, regardless of what people say.
Club. Yeah.
I don't know. He's a good manager. I have a lot of admiration for him. Whether he's a man for Tottenham, I have my doubts.
Yeah. Big up to Tequila's always put. It says, I can handle being the cup team. That's right. If we're respectful in the league. And that's a point as well, Philip. If you're in top 6 or fight for Europe and win a cup, that's a good season. But what I've seen in the last 18 months in the league is the worst I've seen since I started following. You've got look. I did. Somebody said it last night. I was on another YouTube show last night, and somebody put the analogy of the Europa League is papering over the cracks of the league. You can blame it on.
Yeah. We haven't finished outside the top 10 in 15 years.
Yeah, I know, but I know you. I'm trying to be balanced here, Philip. I'm not trying to be over the top, but I have to be balanced. And people put comments in, and you got to look at them. You got to be balanced when I've got to come up with the question in my head to balance what people are saying. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but that's what somebody said to me, and I thought, hang on a minute. We have just won the Europa League. We've just become European champions for the 3rd time in our history in that competition. Yes, the league's been dreadful. Yes, we've had injuries to condemn that in that league form. But if the club Man United come out very quickly and said, we're putting all our eggs in one basket, we're doing it in the Europa League. Do you think if Tottenham ANGE come out and said, right, lads, the league is done, in the press conference, we're going to prioritise the Europa League? Do you think fans would have accepted that more than
No, I
what
don't.
we
Well,
saw at
first,
Crystal Palace? I mean, you were angry what you saw at Palace,
I
and I
was,
know
yeah, I
you were
was
angry.
very angry, very angry. But now I can see in a way why that was. It was 10 days away from a major final, you know.
Yeah,
But no manager's ever going to come out and say I'm going to prioritise a certain competition because he's making a rod for his own back. There, he's never going to say
yeah.
that. It might be obvious that that's what's happening, but he's never ever going to say it. Um, like, a league form over the last number of years. I mean, look at the time from 2016 to 2021. I think it was at 20. Yeah, we finished ahead of the Arsenal every single
Yeah,
season, right? Okay, they've done it to us over the last 2 or 3 years. Fair dues to them, they got back in. They've got a crap manager, but they still managed it.
yeah.
Um, Spurs league form will improve next season. I have absolutely no doubt about that.
I think
We're
it
going to
will
be
too.
back in the top six next season. I nearly guarantee that because this season was an aberration. A lot of factors coming into play. A lot of bad. Nothing went right for us for a while. The fact that we kept going in the Europa League has papered over the cracks up to a point. But don't never take away from the achievement. It's a very hard thing to win a European competition, and we have
Yeah,
done it. We have done it, and we've done it after playing 14 matches in that tournament. You win the
I
FA
know.
Cup by playing five.
What do you
So
think of the new European format? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, up to a point. Yeah, up to a point. It put a lot of extra pressure on the clubs, though. You know, I mean,
Hmm.
you're playing more matches than you normally do, and maybe that was a contributory factor to our injuries. We had some injuries in the Europa
Yeah,
League. But like, listen, the end justifies the means. We've come through. We were. I know we were one of the favourites at the start to win it, but I think when we got down as far as the AZ game, the last 16,
yeah,
I think people thought that was as far as we're going to get. They certainly thought Frankfurt were going to be too good for us.
yeah,
Unbeaten at home, haven't scored in every match. We did a job on them. Then the confidence started to come back. Bodo Glint, difficult place to go. We did it. Plastic pitch. I mean, you got to give credit to the players. They have mindset. They probably thought, right, we're going to finish 15, 16, 17 in the league. We're safe. There's no problem. I'm not going to get relegated. So that their priorities did become the Europa League, without saying it out loud. And now that we've done
hmm.
it, we've won it.
Look, I'm over the moon with one. I'm still buzzing with one. I am literally still buzzing with one. But I think you've also got to be realistic that our league season, and that's our bread and butter, has not
Oh
been
yeah,
great.
absolutely, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. There will be. Look, I've no doubt if Ange stays right, and we start off next season in the league after 5 games, we've got 2 or 3 points. I don't think he'll survive.
No.
I don't think so. So the choice has to be made now. Do we change managers now, or do we wait and give him a chance at the start of next season to see if that league form this season was just a one-off?
What do you do? What do you do?
Honestly, like if you'd asked me this last week, I would have said change. But
Yeah.
like a lot of fans now are becoming a little bit more. Hang on, maybe he does deserve a bit more of a time. So maybe I'm becoming a bit like that. But it would not surprise me if he did go in the summer.
Then that begs the question: if it does go, who do you want in as
Well,
manager? There, I know
there you
you
are.
said Jurgen Klopp,
Well,
but
yeah, that's
just
unlikely. That's unlikely. I mean, that's
yeah.
what I'd
So
love to see.
if you've been more realistic, who do you think the club should go after?
Again, I know some of these hotshot foreign managers are great stuff, and they're doing brilliant stuff in their Bundesliga and La
Mm,
Liga and what have you. But the Premiership is, to my mind, superior to all those leagues,
yeah.
and the most difficult league in the planet to win. So somebody who's got Premier League experience is needed to hit the ground running. Now, Thomas Frank, yes, he's a good manager. The guy at Bournemouth. Good manager, a bit similar to Ange the way he plays the game, so he might not be a
Yeah.
runner. Your boy that's leaving, the ex-Liverpool player that Bayer Leverkusen. I know he hasn't got managerial experience in the Premier, but he's played in the Premiership, which is the next best thing.
Well, Xavi.
Yavi Alonso, isn't that him? Alonso,
Yeah,
that is
but
him.
there's Xavi as well, the
Xavi as
ex-Barcelona
well. Yeah,
manager.
Yeah, but anyone that can manage Barcelona can manage anywhere, I
Yeah,
presume. You know, it's going to be a hugely important appointment because
mm,
you're taking over. He's taken over a club that's a European champion, and the
mm,
own and has to maintain the standards and play the football the Tottenham way. We don't want someone coming in and doing a Conte on us, having five at the
mm,
back and playing like with 29% possession every game. We want someone that
yeah,
plays that to dare us to do. We won't be. And are these continental managers tuned in enough to do that? I don't know.
yeah. No, I don't know. Wilton says stick for now. He's saying stick with Ange. Tiggy says no doubt for a moment that in February onwards we knew 100% we had no chance of European place via the league. Oh, Danny Boy probably told Ange to focus on Europa. It was the only chance left. To be fair,
Maybe,
that
yeah.
true.
Well, I mean,
Um,
it's worked out for us. We've got the trophy.
mm, Chill Music says Xavi's very similar to Ange but adapts.
Yeah.
But Ange did adapt, though. To be fair to him, he did adapt, and he is starting to adapt. So, is he learning from his mistakes, or is he better suited to cup football than he is to league football? And I know you can win a league up in Celtic, Philip. Look, we're both Celtic fans, and we know the Scottish League isn't the best league in the world, is it? To be fair,
Dermot, if we were playing for Celtic, we could win the league. Really,
yeah.
to be honest. That's no disrespect to the rest of the club, but I mean,
No.
when it's 1986 since a team other than Rangers or Celtic won the Scottish League. That
Well,
tells you
isn't
all
it
about it, you know.
36 years since any other teams won their Scottish Cup today?
Yeah,
And Aberdeen won it today.
Aberdeen haven't won it since for 35 years.
Yeah.
You know, other teams have
So,
won it all right, but not it's the league that Celtic and Rangers dominate. But
mm.
where were we? What were we saying? Oh, Ange is very similar with that. Yeah. What was the question, Dermot? I've forgotten it now.
The question was, is Ange adapting? Is it a bit too late, or do you think he's learning now? He has to adapt.
Well, I mean, if you look at the way we played I'll take the last three European away games, right?
Yeah,
The away we went to Frankfurt on a 1-1 home result, and everybody thought, "Oh, this is it." That was a brilliant performance in Frankfurt. Same in Bodo. You went to a very difficult place in the Arctic Circle with only a 2-goal cushion and made it a 4-goal cushion. And then we go out to Spain, playing Manchester United, who buried Atletico Bilbao, the home team, 7-1 in the semi-final, and we kept them
yeah,
scoreless as well. So yes, he is adapting. Yes, he is.
yeah. Brighton will give Tottenham a guard of honour going onto the pitch tomorrow for the start of the game tomorrow. That's
Okay,
been
wow, that's
confirmed.
nice of them. That's nice of them. Yeah.
Yeah, the Brighton's manager, Fabinho Huzelia, says that his team will give Tottenham a guard of honour ahead of tomorrow's match following Spurs Europa League.
Let's hope they're generous when the match starts as well.
Yeah. Big up to Wilton says, if I can tempt Klopp out of retirement, then I don't see anyone else. The manager I would have liked to see is Eddie Howe at the club years ago, but that's gone now.
Yeah.
Maybe Eddie Howe will still come to the club. I mean, we
Newcastle will
know,
get into Europe. They'll get into. He won't.
yeah,
No, he won't.
but if Amanda Stavely does take over the club, she's very much a very big Eddie Howe fan.
Oh yeah, maybe.
So
Maybe.
you,
Yeah.
you can see that happening. We've got chill music. Ange needs to adapt in the Premier League, which I haven't seen consistently.
Yeah, that's true.
Tequila says, I consider the win over Frankfurt Ange's best moment he's had at Spurs. Everything else, not so much, but in that game, he got it right. And I think he got it right in the final as well. Very early on,
He did.
he went to a back five. Do you think he got his tactics right that night?
He did. Like he knew. Okay, we 1-0 up at half time. The old Ange, right, earlier in the season, would have come out and played gung ho in the second half, going for another goal, right, which might have left us wide open for another counter attack. He didn't. We sat back, and okay, I know Tottenham haven't got the greatest defensive record of sitting back, but that apart from the mistake by Vicario, which ended up in Van der Ven doing that miraculous clearance off the line, and a couple of other, we really nullified that United attack. They did not know how to get through us. And
well,
that's
we rode our luck a little bit, didn't we?
oh yeah, but you have to, you have to. But on occasion, but it was a more measured and very disciplined performance by Tottenham, which we haven't seen enough of this season.
Yeah. So look, we're coming to the end.
Damn it. Can't hear
Can you hear me now?
you. Hear you now. Yeah, you were doing a silent movie routine there for a minute.
Yeah, I know my mic suddenly mutes itself. I don't know if it's the I need to get a new cable or whatever. Someone give him a slap. Yeah, I think I need one. Look, tomorrow's last game tomorrow, Philip. I think we should have gone to the Brighton game instead of the Palace game.
Oh, why didn't we? Why didn't we?
Why did we do it? I blame Ollie for that. It's his fault.
Yeah.
What's your best? Look, I'm going to get other guys as well during the week, but why I got you on here, Philip? What is your best moment of the season?
Well, obviously, after 98.37 minutes on Wednesday, when the final whistle went, I think that I can start to breathe again. I haven't breathed.
Yeah.
I've been sort of hyperventilating for the 10 minutes before that. Best moment of the season? Oh, I would say beating Man City 4-0 up at their place.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And also beating Man United 4 times in the season, which has never happened before.
Look, you get mine tomorrow, guys. Listen, Philip, thank you so much for jumping in. I know, I know. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I think my co-host actually went out partying with the Tottenham lads, and he hasn't returned yet. I think last thing he was seen with QT Romero and James Maddison going into a Mayfair nightclub. So I don't think he's returned from that. But listen, guys, we are back tomorrow with the final watch along of the season. We've got the final before the whistle, and of course the final score before we start gearing up for summer content. But thanks very much for watching tonight, guys. Sorry it wasn't the show that was thumbnailed up, advertised, but yeah, I had to adapt quickly, and yeah, it's one of them shows when anything goes. There's too many of them shows for the one of them shows where anything goes. What we should have got was brought up the video of the Poching again. That's what we should have done.
Oh dear. Yes, indeed.
But listen, what's your score prediction for tomorrow?
Oh, 1 each. I'm hoping we get a draw out of it. I can't see anything more than that now, to be honest.
I'm going for a 3-0 win. Whatever.
Well,
yeah. Just me.
I just hope that the players aren't on their hands and knees by sort of 60 minutes. I can't go on.
Well, we know Romero's not playing. We know Sonny's not playing.
Yeah.
Tell's going to get some minutes. Just last question on Tell. Would you buy him in the summer?
A rumor is that we're going to buy him. Well, I mean, I don't think I've seen enough of him to really make a definitive answer to that. But if the powers that be and the people that know what they're talking about think he's good enough, he's good enough for me.
Yeah, well, listen, guys, we are back tomorrow. It's 4 o'clock kickoff tomorrow, isn't it? It is 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 o'clock. So we will be on at 3:15. We're before the whistle. We've got the watch along, of course, at 10 to 4, guys, and then final score at 10 to 6. Philip, thank you so much for jumping on and helping me, guys. Again, apologies again for not giving you the show that was advertised. I do appreciate your kindness, but anyway, we're back tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs!
Come on,
in Big Ange. We trust, I think. I don't know.
For now.
Until quarter to 6 tomorrow evening when we get thumped 4-0. Then it'll be back to normal again.
When Daniel Levy presents him with his P45 on the centre circle.
On that bombshell, we're going to leave it there. See you later. Come on.
Bye-bye.